You know those 5 servings of fruits and vegetables you're eating every day? The healthy salads, the organic smoothies, the whole grains. They might be poisoning you. And I'm not talking about pesticides. I'm talking about something way more insidious. Something that's already inside your body right now. A brand new study just dropped in 2026, and it's turning everything we know about healthy eating completely upside down. For years, we've worried about microplastics in seafood and bottled water. Turns out, we've been looking in the wrong place. The foods delivering the most plastic particles into your body? Fruits, vegetables, and grains. The exact foods your doctor tells you to eat more of. Today, I'm breaking down what this new research revealed, why it's happening, and most importantly, what you can actually do about it without giving up real nutrition. Because here's the thing, you need to know this now. Let me paint you a picture of what's really going on. Right now, at this very moment, you have microplastics in your bloodstream, in your lungs, in your organs. They've even found them in human brain tissue. These aren't big chunks of plastic. We're talking about particles smaller than a grain of salt, thinner than a human hair, invisible to the naked eye. And you're consuming between 39,000 and 52,000 of them every single year. But here's where it gets really disturbing. A groundbreaking study just published by researchers at the University of Amsterdam analyzed every major food category to see where most microplastics are coming from. Everyone expected seafood to be the culprit. Everyone assumed bottled water was the problem. They were wrong. Fruits, vegetables, and grains account for 99.5% of the microplastic particles you eat daily. Not 30%, not 50%, 99.5%. Let that sink in. The organic apple you had for breakfast? Contaminated. That healthy quinoa bowl for lunch? Loaded. The side salad with dinner? You're literally eating plastic. And before you think this is just about produce from one country or one region, it's not. This is global. They found microplastics in salt, sugar, honey, tea, beer, milk, and even in drinking water. But the foods we eat multiple times a day, the foundation of clean eating, those are the ones delivering the highest doses into our bodies. Here's what's happening. Plastic breaks down in the environment into tiny particles. These particles get into the soil through sewage sludge used as fertilizer. They're in irrigation water. They're literally raining down from the sky. So when plants grow, they absorb microplastics from the ground. When you wash produce, the water itself contains microplastics. There's almost no way to escape it. And we're not just breathing this stuff in. Though experts estimate you inhale 68,000 microplastic particles every single day. You're eating it. 3 meals a day. Snacks in between. Every single day. So what does all of this actually mean for your health? That's the billion-dollar question. And here's where the research gets genuinely scary. Brand new studies published in the last year are linking microplastics to cardiovascular disease. We're talking heart attacks and strokes. One study found that people with microplastics in their arterial plaque had a significantly higher risk of heart attack, stroke, or death. They're finding microplastics in brain tissue and linking them to cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease. Think about that, plastic particles crossing into your brain and potentially contributing to dementia. Research is showing these particles can disrupt your hormones, mess with your immune system, cause inflammation throughout your body, and potentially increase cancer risk. They've found high concentrations of microplastics in the placentas of women who had premature births. There's emerging evidence that microplastics might be affecting fetal development and pregnancy outcomes. Now, before you panic, here's what we know and don't know. Scientists are still figuring out exactly how toxic these microplastics are at the levels we're exposed to. The FDA currently says there's no evidence that the levels found in food pose a direct health risk. But here's the problem with that statement. We didn't start seriously studying this until recently. We don't have 20-year longitudinal studies yet. But what we do know is alarming enough to pay attention. These particles don't just pass through your system. They accumulate. They can carry toxic chemicals with them, both the chemicals that were used to make the plastic in the first place and other pollutants they pick up from the environment. When plastic breaks down into even smaller pieces called nanoplastics, those can actually cross cell membranes and enter your tissues. The World Economic Forum's 2025 Global Risks Report ranked pollution as a top 10 threat. Researchers are warning about a turning point coming, a massive microplastic pollution outbreak, if we don't take action. And here's the kicker, this is only getting worse. Almost all the plastic ever produced is still out there in the environment, slowly breaking down. Every year, There are more microplastics in the soil, water, and air, which means every year there's more in your food. Scientists are racing to understand the full health impacts. But by the time we have all the answers, you'll have been exposed for decades. Let me make this personal. If you're someone who's been trying to eat healthy, loading up on fresh produce, cooking whole grains, avoiding processed foods, you might actually be getting higher exposure to microplastics than someone eating a standard American diet. That's the cruel irony. If you're pregnant or planning to be, this affects your baby's development. If you have kids, their developing brains and bodies are being exposed during critical growth periods. If you're in your 30s or 40s right now, you'll be accumulating these particles for another 40, 50, 60 years. What does that total lifetime exposure look like? And here's what makes this different from other environmental health threats. You can't avoid it by simply changing brands or shopping somewhere different. This isn't about organic versus conventional. It's everywhere. The foods you need for actual nutrition, the vitamins, minerals, fiber, antioxidants in fruits and vegetables, those aren't optional. You can't just stop eating produce. Your body needs real food. But you also can't ignore the fact that those same foods are delivering plastic particles into your system with every bite. This is the health dilemma of our generation. Okay, so what do you actually do about this? Because you still need to eat, and you still need nutrition. Here's your action plan. Action 1. Focus on fiber diversity. Here's some genuinely good news. New research from 2026 is showing that certain types of fiber might actually help block microplastic absorption or speed up their excretion from your body. Doctors are now calling fiber nutritional defense. Mix different fiber types: soluble, insoluble, and fermentable fibers. Think beans, lentils, oats, flaxseed, chia seeds, and a variety of vegetables. This isn't about eliminating produce. It's about using food's protective properties against itself. Action 2. Reduce additional plastic exposure. You can't eliminate microplastics from food, but you can stop adding more. Ditch plastic water bottles. Use glass or stainless steel. Stop microwaving food in plastic containers. Avoid plastic cutting boards. Use wood instead. Don't buy produce wrapped in plastic when you can avoid it. Filter your drinking water. Though note that even tap water contains microplastics, good filters can reduce them. The laundry you're doing? That's actually the leading source of microplastic pollution. Every time you wash synthetic clothing, thousands of microfibers go down the drain and into the environment. Consider microplastic catching laundry balls or bags for synthetic fabrics. Action 3. Choose your produce strategically. While microplastics are in most produce, concentration varies. Leafy greens with larger surface areas may have different contamination than root vegetables. Peeling when appropriate might reduce exposure, though you lose nutrients. Growing your own food in clean soil with filtered water might be the only way to truly reduce exposure, but that's not practical for most people. Focus on foods with protective compounds, antioxidants, polyphenol that can help counter oxidative stress and inflammation that microplastics might cause. Action 4. Support your body's detox systems. Your liver, kidneys, and digestive system are working overtime. Support them. Stay hydrated with filtered water. Exercise regularly to promote circulation and elimination. Get enough sleep. Your brain literally cleans itself during deep sleep. Consider foods that support liver function: cruciferous vegetables, garlic, turmeric, green tea. Action 5. Stay informed and advocate. This is emerging science. New information is coming out constantly. Follow reputable sources. Push for better regulations on plastic use and disposal. Support research into biodegradable alternatives. Vote with your wallet by choosing companies reducing plastic packaging. The good news? You still have time. Your body has natural detoxification mechanisms. While we can't eliminate exposure, we can minimize additional sources and support our body's ability to handle what we can't avoid. And remember, the answer isn't to stop eating fruits and vegetables. The nutrition they provide is non-negotiable for health. It's about being smart, strategic, and staying ahead of the curve. Look, I know this is heavy. Nobody wants to hear that the healthy food they're eating comes with invisible plastic. But here's why I'm telling you this. Because you deserve to know what's really happening. Because knowledge gives you power. And because the sooner you start making small changes, the better positioned you'll be for what's coming. This isn't the end of healthy eating. It's the beginning of smart, informed eating in a plastic-saturated world. If this opened your eyes, hit subscribe. We're tracking every major future trend that affects your health, your money, and your life. Drop a comment. What's your biggest concern about microplastics? Are you changing anything about how you eat? The future is coming whether we're ready or not. Let's be ready.